Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Excuse me if I'm bright red, I'm just in. It's freezing cold. If you were at the game, you'll know that. And it's time to do three things we learned. Celtic versus Hearts. Celtic 1, Hearts 0. Another win for Ange Postecoglou's Celtic to mark the beginning of a very, very busy, and judging by that game, a very sort of nervy month. Before we go any further with the video, please make sure to hit that big red subscribe button, as red as my face, you can't miss it. Down below the video, it will be a massive help to me. Let's try and hit 31,000 subscribers before the new year. It would mean the world. And also hit that like button while you're down there too. It would be, yeah, a pretty good way to celebrate a massive result for Celtic. At the end of the intro there, I said a pretty nervy month for Celtic. Look, I didn't think things were too nervy in that game there, but we're going to have to get used to these 2-1 wins, these 1-0 wins. Celtic Park or not, that's just the reality of this month. It's going to be one long month for Celtic, and those are the results to expect. We're going to have to fight hard. We're going to have to dig deep. Ange Postecoglou spoke on that. I think that this month is going to be very telling as to who can go on further this season, maybe win that league title. But that was really well done from Celtic tonight. You know, to go out there and get the result against a flying Hearts side, they're third in the table. It was never going to be easy. I didn't expect us to go in and blow them away. I would have liked more goals, don't get me wrong, but a Hearts side coming to Celtic Park full of confidence is one that can cause a lot of problems. And tonight they showed that as well. They showed that they can make life difficult for Celtic. And we took it in our stride. We got the win, we got the 3 points, and that's all that matters to me right now. It's so easy to think back to the early stage of this season when we were beating St Mirren 6-0, we were beating Dundee 6-0, and we were scoring goals for fun. But we're at a point of the season now where teams don't want to lose. Teams are fighting at both ends of the table. And the 3 points is going to be the hardest thing in the world. And this Celtic side know that. And the sides that we play against are bringing their best game to Celtic Park. Now, I'm not expecting 6-0s anymore. Now, I've not been for a long time, but I'm not expecting that. What I am expecting of Celtic is to get through these games with grit, a bit of determination, and ultimately decide just to walk away with 3 points. And if they keep doing that, that's all that matters at the minute, because we need to keep that gap as tight as possible at the top of the table. So then, let's talk about the game itself before we get on to the three things. I thought Celtic were the better side throughout the 90 minutes, but it goes without saying, I think Hearts in the second half presented a challenge to us that was a little bit threatening. I wasn't too deeply concerned about what was happening on the park, but Hearts definitely had their chances. There was the free header from the corner kick in the second half. There was the shot that went across goal as well. Liam Boyce was in at one point and he kind of fumbled over himself. Hearts did have their chances to maybe bring that game level and then suddenly turn it on its head, but I think we dealt with it very well. Over the course of the 90 minutes, I thought we looked confident. When we had the ball, it was that way where we've been the last few games. We're comfortable in possession. I didn't see any dodgy passes. I didn't see anything that made me sit on the edge of my seat and go, right, maybe we're not quite there. I thought we were comfortable for the majority of it. And that was especially the case in the first half. First half, let's start there. That's where, you know, you should usually start at the start, Ryan. Look, I thought we're the better side. We created chances. We looked good on the press. Right from the first ball was kicked, Kyogo was on top of the Hearts defenders. And that's what we've come to expect of Celtic so far this season. You know, we had to work hard, we had to dig deep, and we got that first goal. There's been a lot made of that first goal, you know, offside or not. I've not had the chance to look back on the highlights yet. I'm literally just in from the game. Robbie Neilson's greeting, you love to see it. Look, you know, we'll see this. This is the pettiness of Scottish football. Last night, Celtic fans are complaining over a penalty decision at Easter Road, and then tonight you've got Hearts and Rangers fans complaining the goal should be chopped off for offside. Here's the quote that gets thrown about all the time. These decisions, they come to level themselves out by the end of the season. It's football. You know, it happens. Offside or not, you can stick your offside up your arse. All I care about is the fact it was a goal, and it's 1-0 Celtic. And it was a well-worked goal as well. I thought Celtic played really good football building up to it. And it's, at the end of the day, it's in the back of the net. Who am I to complain? I'm not the one deciding if it should have stood or not. I'm a Celtic fan, and I'm just happy it did stand. And that was the goal that we're looking for in that first half. I think the thing is with Hearts and the way they were playing today, it showed we had to get that first half goal. I think if we didn't get that first half goal, Michael Owen quote coming here, we might not have scored. No, but look, the earlier we got that goal, the better. We really did strike at the right time. I thought it would have been better if it was earlier, but you know, we kind of got ourselves more comfortable in the game by getting that goal. And look, once you get that, you kind of put your mind to rest a little bit, and I think that sort of was shown around the Celtic side. I think that we looked, we were pressing for that goal a lot. We were looking really urgent trying to get that first goal, but once we did get it, I thought we looked a lot more comfortable with the ball. I think we looked a lot better, and ultimately, you're seeing out the first half 1-0 up. It's exactly where you want to be. The impressive thing about the second half for me was the resilience of the Celtic side to try and protect that lead. As I said earlier in the video, I think Hearts did have their chances. They had opportunities to kind of open the game up and bring themselves into it. But we dealt with it well, while also still making opportunities. But we need to be that bit more clinical. I think there was a lot of times in that final third in the second half we were taking too long. Especially Forrest, he stood out to me in a couple of opportunities where he was just taking one too many touches. He was holding the ball for a little too long. I thought that was the case a few times in the second half, and we could have really done better to kind of finish off the game. A couple of our chances dragging over the face of the goal. Gordon was forced to make a save or two. At the end of the day, we played well enough. We've seen it out, and I'm just happy we've got the 3 points. I mean, who am I to complain? So then, let's get on to the 3 things we've learned. Let's get this video wrapped up because I'm going to sit beside a gas fire for the rest of the night. Look, first thing I want to talk about, Carl Starfelt. What a player. And I've been raving about him for months, both on my solo videos and on the podcast. I absolutely adore him. He might be my favourite player in the team. And it was a joy to behold seeing him on that team sheet tonight. When I seen he was returning, it was a pleasant surprise. Ange kept it quiet. Yesterday when he spoke in the press conference, he said, we've got Rogic back, we've got Beaton back. But nothing was really said about Starfelt. I didn't expect him to see him on that team sheet tonight. And I was buzzing when I did see him because I rate him so highly. And tonight's performance, man of the match, quite rightly. There was so many different times in the game where he just stood up and he shown the class of himself as a defender. We talk about the Celtic centre-halves and how good they have to be at playing the ball out, how good they have to be with the ball at their feet and all this and that and the next thing. But I thought Starfelt tonight showed real defensive qualities, last-ditch tackles, interceptions. He just looked like a proper centre-half tonight, I thought. And I just kept raving about him to Kieran and David throughout the game. I kept saying, look at him, he's brilliant. And when that 90th minute whistle announcement came, he was man of the match, I was not shocked at all. I wasn't shocked in the slightest because it was well-deserved. And he brings a real... I want to see him and Carter Vickers at the back tonight. And look, I'm not taking anything away from Welsh. I thought Welsh was brilliant tonight as well. I'll give him his credit. I don't know what's happened to Carter Vickers. Of course, wasn't involved in the squad tonight. But the thought of Starfelt and Carter Vickers being back in that team together makes me smile. I want it to happen so badly. Starfelt, to me, is just brilliant. And I think he's just going to get better and better. And look, the big thing is, that's him off the back of an injury, returning for the first time. It's very easy for players to come back from injuries and take 2 or 3 games to get back to a level that's the standard of Celtic. But he was right into it tonight and against a quality enough side. And he done the job. I really, really enjoyed watching him tonight. He puts a smile on my face. Carl Starfelt, God bless you. Man of the match, quite rightly. The second thing I want to talk about kind of ties in with the third thing. So I don't know where to start here. I think I'll start with this. It's going to be a long month. It's going to be an incredibly long and hard month for Celtic when you're watching players hit the deck every 5 minutes. Tonight we've seen Ralston have to go off. We've seen Jota. Say a rosary, by the way. Everybody, I want you all watching this video. Get your rosary beads out. Do the whole thing. All of them. Every bead. Round it. For Jota tonight. I'm hoping that it's not too bad. I'm hoping it was taken off for precautionary reasons. But, watching players hit the floor and go down. Starfelt went down at a point as well. And someone else has slipped my mind at this moment. But, it's going to be a long month. There's games every 3 days. We play again on Sunday, then we play again on Thursday, then we play on a Sunday again, then I think we play on a Wednesday. Between now and January the 2nd, we know how packed that fixture list is. And we've already had a lot of problems this season with injuries. That's the reality of it. That's what we've seen already this season. We've seen players having to take weeks out and whatnot. We've just seen Rogic, Beaton come back, Starfelt come back. We're going to have to deal with this over the next few weeks. And that's something that's going to be a challenge for the manager and the squad to try and manage themselves in a way that we see as little injuries as possible. These little nicks and knacks here and there, they build up and they become issues, and we need to try and prevent that from happening. Now, that's not me saying Ange has to go out and rotate every game. The reality is you don't want to rotate every game. You want to play your best team week in, week out, game in, game out. That's what you want. But, watching them go down is tough. I was one more player down from launching myself off the top tier. I was on edge about it, and it's so frustrating when you see it happen, because there's nothing you can do about it. It's unfortunate at the end of the day. It's not like Ange has a magic wand and he can make these players fit. You know, and make these players incapable of injury. You know, if I can find my words, that's not possible. So, you know, it's going to be a long and hard month, and it's going to be a tough one. But if we can get through it and we have the best possible squad come the end of it, it's a great success. And look, I don't want to, the third thing that I think we've learned, I don't want to tie everything back to talking about transfers and everything like that. You know, I'm happy we got the 3 points tonight, and I think every Celtic fan should be, because we had to get it tonight. After last night's result, it was mass importance that the win came first. So I don't want to keep focusing on what we have to do in January, but I think with watching those players go off the park tonight, it reinforces the importance of the depth we need to build on in this window. Watching Montgomery and Johnson come off the bench, it's not the quality we need in positions. Montgomery's not even a natural left back. Johnson's simply not good enough, in my opinion. We need better players. We need players who are going to be able to come in and bring that sort of match-winning experience in, rather than the younger guy. Look, that's not me saying disregard the youth. You know, we've got a youth system there that we need to build on, but there's that. You look at the bench and it's not inspiring. It's not the greatest quality. We need to build on that. That's the reality of it. And I hate just disregarding the whole youth system and the academy and players and all the rest of it. That's not what I'm trying to do. But until they're at a point where you're comfortable with those being the guys coming on in these tight games, you need to bring in players. And I think that will be seen tonight. And look, I've seen many a Celtic fan complain about the depth on the bench over the past few weeks. And I think tonight is another game that reinforces that when you watch players drop down. We need to sign. We need to reinforce. And we need to have a squad from you know, that's built to win a title. 14 good players isn't enough. You need 20 good players. You need a squad all round from head to toe that's good enough to challenge over the course of a full season with injuries. That's how football works. So that does it then. It's a long one, that. I'm panting for air here. Mostly because I'm still freezing. But aye, if you've enjoyed, make sure to like and subscribe. A massive 3 points again for Celtic, and I'm buzzing about that. Let's keep it rolling. Let's go to Tannadice at the weekend. I don't even know what's happening with that at the moment, with the stadium or stand closure. But let's roll on. Let's keep getting points. Ange ball keeps going, baby. Like and subscribe. See you all next time.